Hey, welcome to the new Keemcast. Keemcast, the 15-minute show, which is was my original plan was to make it weekly. I'm sorry I couldn't, and yeah. So because of this, I'm sure you've long anticipated the release of the new Keemcast. So here I am to bring this to you today. I am your host, and this is the Keemcast. Sadly, I don't have a theme song to play at this point. Maybe I could eventually grow to developing one. So, first of all, I'd like to do a bit of a follow up on yesterday's Keemcast. I'll try to make this short. Then I'll move into the two topics of today. Number one is where can cuteness exist? Actually, that's number two. Oops. And number two. Actually, that's number one. Am I mixed up today? How to argue. So first of all, following up on yesterday, I proved that LGBTQ plus and religion are not contradictory. However, I proved this using a number of reasons that imply that God was homophobic, or yes, he was when he said this. Now, the thing is, yeah, that's right, he wasn't. So here's the thing: when he said a man should not sleep with a man as he should with a woman, he was using man and woman to represent friend and partner because, typically we're in heterosexual relationships and homosexual friendships. And yeah, sure, that's stereotype, but still, stereotype was used a whole lot more in those days. And so, yeah, he's saying don't make out with your friends. And well, that's common logic and something God has also implied in other places. And now, sure, this is a little less obvious, but the thing is, everything God said, up to my beliefs, was reasonable. And that's to the beliefs of any sane Christian. So it doesn't matter what's simpler. It's simply that it was never homophobia and certainly never controversy that God planned on creating by saying these words. So that's the real reason. But even if he was saying these homophobically, what I'm saying is it's fine to be gay and religious. But moving on, literally just wasted two of my precious 15 minutes to talk, and now I'm wasting more saying these words right now. Hey, is this gonna be the episode of Keemcast where we waste a bunch of time? I don't think it is. So, moving on, and any further questions you can email me. Actually, you can't because I don't want people to be sending me random spam mail. And oh, we're up to 3 minutes, which I have wasted. So that leaves me 12 minutes to talk about arguing, and I'll do it right now. Sorry. So, how can you argue? Now, one thing I read in a Calvin and Hobbes strip is if you can't that Calvin said that won him an argument, if you can't win for reason, go for volume. And that is I'm going to be talking about today is reason versus effect. So, what do I mean by effect? So, let's say you're trying to convince your mom, as you're a child, you're trying to convince your mom to go to late night movies that go till midnight with friends, one of whom your mom thinks you're dating. Now, okay, that's a little much. Alright, no, this is totally hypothetical. No, I have never gone to midnight movies with supposed girlfriends. No, that is ridiculous. I don't, I can talk about why dating is generally not the right idea at this age in a future Keemcast. I'm wasting more time. So yeah, yeah, you can. So you can go for reason. Mom, I'm not dating her. Come on, you've seen how little time I spend with her, and when I could spend more. We can't possibly be dating. You could go for reasons like that. Man, am I making these things off the top of my head? Some of them, yes. But this is totally hypothetical, and I have never gone to late night movies with supposed girlfriends, like I said. And I'm not going to explain why again. I am digressing. I've done a fair bit of it already this episode. So yeah. Or instead of trying to win by reason, you could do something a little more for shows. Like you could say sarcastically, "Okay, fine. I totally am dating this girl, and I'm not, and there's a lot of reason why I shouldn't go. Fine, I agree with you." That sort of thing. Sarcasm. That wasn't the best use of sarcasm I just did, but whatever. You get the idea. Or like a do okay, or like say saying, "Yes, fine, I'll listen to you. I won't go to this supposed movie." Then doing a Hitler salute. Um, and okay. Most people don't make so many political jokes, and I'm sorry, most people would not use a Hitler salute in their argument. Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes actually does it several times, but must I really bring up these side converse? That is not a side conversation. Actually, he does goose stepping, not Hitler saluting, but that doesn't matter. My point is, does this mean that your mother is acting like a dictator? No, not necessarily. She's using reason. So, to make her feel like a dictator by doing this is sometimes an effective strategy, and or to mock arguments instead of countering them. Sometimes it works for arguing. But my point is it really a good argument? No, if you argued against me for anything, I'm sure I could mock any argument you gave me. Yeah, I bet I could. So the thing is, well, mocking arguments can definitely win you an argument if you really feel like it's the only way and you're the definite winner. It could win you an argument. Not necessarily. Some people see past this mockery, but I personally can be fooled by. I can be moved by, say, a Hitler salute sometimes, and yeah, maybe I should change that. I don't want followers. I don't want to have a Hitler salute at me every time I reject an episode suggestion, for example. So maybe I should try not to fall for this. But yeah. Anyways, while it works, my point is it really the best way to argue? No, the best arguments are purely reason based, and yeah, sometimes simply asking, but why do you think? And they can't explain why, that works. However, sometimes they have an explanation, they just haven't gotten it in words. So, while it works and it makes them feel really bad about their argument, shouldn't it make you feel bad too? I don't know, but that's how I feel, and I still feel like the best arguments are based off reason. So, yeah, that is my conclusion here, is that the best arguments are based off reason, not reason like the candy. Yeah, I'd rather not see those thrown in people's faces in an argument. No, I mean reasons like because. So moving on. Now this is a toughie. Is it possible, while we're talking about moving people's emotions with speech, is it possible to create cuteness anywhere? Now, the answer is no. So, for instance, I have been told when watching, say, cooking shows, that what, yeah, I've watched like kids cooking shows sometimes, and sometimes the kids just completely lose it and start to cry. Now, does crying in every single time you cry for effects, does it make you cute, and will it make people, well, feel that way? No, I don't feel like it. No, that's definitely not the case. Well, I mean, sure, babies cry, but does this mean it'll make you look cute? No. No. Those are two completely contradictory things. But moving on, let's say let's also say that okay, we all know some people of certain ages are cuter, I put this in quotes, than others. At least that's how they're known. This is inevitable, and well, am I gonna like commit mass genocide on either side? No. Then they're like the tough side who don't want to be known as cute. And I mean, as someone, I worry sometimes what people think about me. And honestly, it depends who I'm around, but, so for instance, if you're like easily the oldest guy in a swimming lesson you're taking, okay, that one isn't hypothetical, that has been the case, then you want to be known as like that old, powerful, no, not powerful, but talented guy. I, I'd rather not. Sorry. So, yeah, I don't. I'd rather just. I'd rather conform to at least some degree in this area. That's how I've felt in terms of all this social pressure that in this day is a big thing in high school. So, yeah. And then then there's the fact that some people are kind of what people think of it as that. Then there are some people who want to be what people think of as that, who try to sound as cute as possible, and well, I I don't know. I don't think this really works. It's never really worked on me, like imitating baby voices and like trying to do stuff someone young would do. And well, okay, maybe that's a bit of a hyperbole. Most people don't go that far, but yeah, trying to mimic something so that people can feel like you are the real thing. Well, that's never exactly sort of worked on me. I mean, no, sometimes it does. For instance, if I say I'm a Dungeons and Dragons player. If I say threw the skill ranks back into 5e, but played the rest in the style. Oh yeah, and I nuked the backgrounds, a feature I don't like. Played in the style of 30, but in 5e. Perhaps it'd be more balanced and still have the balance of 5e and the feel of third edition. Or I could, like I've been trying to modify the third edition rules so it works more balanced, but the real thing. Now, either of these could work. Or, for example, I'm not overly satisfied with the start menu in Windows 10, the operating system I am running on the computer used to record this. So I downloaded Classic Shell. Hey, shout out to the makers. This is an advertisement. If you want a good start menu on Windows 10, Classic Shell. While we're at it, let's throw a shout out for D&D 3rd edition because it's good. So yeah, and I feel like it's a close enough duplicate. I have yet to try and modify the 5th edition rules. Right now I'm using 3rd edition rules, but yeah, sometimes it works. My point is though that with people that doesn't exactly work. Trying to act like you're your favorite celebrity, for example, doesn't work. Even if if you had a kit of general Lego and you try to make your favorite Lego set, trying to make it look like it can be an okay compromise sometimes. Or there are a whole bunch of other compromises I can think of. Turning the voice on your electronic keyboard to that of a piano to make it feel more like a piano, even though my electronic keyboard starts with a C, while pianos start with a A. My point is it's not perfect, but while these compromises sometimes work, I feel like they don't exactly work with people on me. Maybe that's just my thing, or maybe it isn't. Maybe this is just the universal truth. Maybe this is less common than I thought. People trying to act like anything, which is what this is turned into. It's not just about this cuteness I brought up anymore. But yeah, my point is maybe this is a universal, or maybe it's just my thing. Maybe I'm some cruel, apathetic jerk. I don't know. Well, we've reached our 15-minute mark, so I'm afraid I'm gonna have to wrap up now. So, my moral of the story is, win arguments by reason. Try not to imitate people who you're jealous of, and don't get Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, and download Classic Shell. Hey, that wasn't really my moral, but shoutouts, hey. And that is my conclusion.